Sir, can I start, sir?
Yeah, ma'am, you can start.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Sir, today's strength is only 57, sir.
Yeah, ma'am, you proceed with the session. Few students may join on some time.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll look into it. You can start, no problem.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Fine. In the yesterday's class, we had seen operators, various kinds of operators. So, what are the various operators that we had completed yesterday?
Arithmetic operators, logical operators,
Relational operators, bitwise operators,
Yeah.
logical
conditional operators.
Logical operators. These are the various operators. Conditional operator also we completed yesterday. Yes. What is the operator that we are left over with?
increment and decrement operator.
Okay, good. You are following then. Fine. Right. So now we'll be discussing regarding increment and decrement operators. Now, increment operator. So, are you able to view my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. So, increment operator is an operator which is used for increasing the value by 1 unit. Okay, and decrement operator is going to decrease the value by 1 unit. Okay, by 1 unit you will be incrementing, and by 1 unit you will be decrementing. And you are having two types of increments. One is pre-increment and post-increment. And in decrement operator also you are having two different types, like pre-decrement and post-decrement. Okay, now what is pre-increment means? Let us see with an example. Now let us consider I had taken A is equal to some 10. Okay, and if I'm using this is plus A is nothing but your pre-increment operation. Plus A is nothing but pre-increment. If you are having plus symbol before your variable, you'll be calling it as a pre-increment. If you are having plus symbol after this variable, we'll be calling as post-increment. Okay, now what is this pre-increment means? So in this pre-increment notation, what you are doing is, first you are incrementing the value, then you have to perform assignment of the value. For example, I had written A is equal to 10 and I had written B is equal to plus A, and I want to try to print the value of B. So what is going to happen here is, first increment, pre-increment, I'm saying, no, this plus before the variable is nothing but pre-incrementation. So first you will be incrementing the value by 1 unit. After incrementing the value by 1 unit, you will be assigning that value to B. Okay, now what is the incrementation value of 10? So how many units it is going to be increment?
1 unit.
1 unit. So 10 plus 1 will become
11.
11, and 11 is going to be assigned to B. And if you are trying to print the value of B, you will be getting the value as 11. Okay, now instead of B is equal to plus A, if I had written like this, B is equal to A plus. B is equal to A plus. So here, what type of increment it is called as?
Post increment.
Post increment operation. In the post increment operation, first value will be assigned to this, then incrementation operation will be done. Okay, now A's value is going to be assigned to B, then you will be incrementing the value of B. That is called as post increment operation. So what will be the value of B you will be getting in this?
11.
Try to understand carefully. You are assigning the value of A to B first, then you will be performing the incrementation operation. అంటే ఏమవుతుంది ఇక్కడ? Hello?
10.
Is the value of B is 10. If I try to print the value of A, what will be the value of A? A value will be 11. Why A value will be 11 means A is going to be incremented afterwards, no? So that's why A value will become 11 here. Did you understood what is pre-increment and what is post-increment means?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now let us see the pre-decrement and post. This is one of the most important operator where you get more confusion. Everyone, did you understood or not?
Understood, ma'am.
Okay, right. Now let us take pre-decrement and post-decrement. I had taken A is equal to some 10. Okay, and I'm writing B is equal to minus minus, this is minus symbol, minus minus A. Now, what is the meaning of this? Is it post decrement or pre decrement?
Pre-decrement.
What is pre decrement means? Pre means first you have to perform the decrementation operation, then you have to assign the value to B. Am I correct or not? So, what will be the value of B now?
9, ma'am.
9.
Yes, B is equal to 9, you are getting. Fine. Now, if I had written C is equal to B minus minus, then what will be the value of C?
8. 9, 9, ma'am.
C value will also be 9. Don't get confused. This is post decrement. Post means after. So first we have to assign the value of B to C. Then you have to perform the operation, that is decrementation operation. Now C is becoming 9. And if you are trying to print the value of B, what will be the value of B?
8.
8. Good. What is the value of A? 9. Did all of you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, fine. See, that's only written. Pre-increment means value of I is incremented before assigning it to the variable I. Post-increment means, sorry, this is X, not I. Value of X is incremented after assigning it to variable I. Pre-decrement means what? Value of X is decremented before assigning it to variable I. Post-decrement means decremented after assigning. This is X ma. Don't get it's not into. Value of X is decremented after assigning it to variable I. Did all of you understood the notations of pre-increment and post-increment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. Now let us take an example and please try to tell me the answer for this particular question. Okay. Okay, clear all. Now I had taken a program where you please tell me the answers now. Now I had taken I. The value of I is 3. And the value of J is 4. Now printf percentile D comma plus plus I. What will be the value of I you will be getting?
4, ma'am. 4.
Plus I means pre-increment, no? So value of I you will be getting the as, so 4 you will be getting, and here 4 is going to be displayed. Now minus minus J means what?
3.
Decrement.
Yes, J is decremented by 1 unit, and here you will be getting the value as 3. Next, we had done post increment. Here you had done post increment, that is I plus plus. And you are trying to print the value of I. What will be the value of I you will be getting? Here you had done the operation, but you are not doing any assignment, no? So value of I is being incremented and value of I will become 5.
5.
J minus minus.
2.
It is becoming 2. Did everyone got it?
Madam,
Please tell me.
ఇంత ఐకామన్ చేయాల్సి క్లియర్ స్క్రీన్
Hello.
Madam. 3.
Already I told you, no. So you'll be getting your output on your black screen. That is your console. You will be getting the output, no. That whatever the previous data that is available, that you have to clear it. So for that purpose, you are having a function, inbuilt function, which is already available. That is CLR SCR. Is it okay? Hello.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, right. Next, the most important thing that you have to remember is you can't perform incrementation operation or decrementation operation on a constant values or an expressions. Only on the variables you can perform incrementation operation or decrementation operation. So if you want to increase the value of 10 by 1 unit or 5 by 1 unit, you should not write 5 plus plus directly. It's not a valid thing in your C language. Not in C, any language, it's not valid. You can't perform incrementation operation directly on the constant value. Now, what is the answer for this? I is equal to 5 is given, I plus plus or plus plus I it is given. Now, what will be the answer you will be getting here?
6.
Yes. So answer is already given. No? So I plus plus means post increment and plus plus I means pre increment. So if you do plus plus I or I plus plus, both you will be getting the value as 6. So 6 or 6 is 6. So therefore value of I you are going to get as 6 here. If it is I minus minus or minus minus I, what will be the value?
4.
4.
4. Good. Next. Sorry. Okay, here see this question. I is equal to 5 is given. J is equal to 5 plus 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 I. So first what we have to execute, the one which is in the brackets should be executed. So 5 plus 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 I. What is plus plus I means?
6 plus
6.
11, ma'am.
6. What is 5 plus 6?
11.
11. So what will be the value of J will be?
11.
11.
J is 11 and I will become 6. Oh, fine. If it is I plus plus, then instead of plus
Then
plus,
also 6. No?
then I is 6. Okay. What about J?
10, ma'am. 10.
Yes. J is equal to 10 since it is post increment. Okay. So can you do any kind of sum in this? Now tell me the answer for these things. A is equal to 10, A plus plus. So A value will become first 10. See, let us take this example. I had taken A and assign the value of A as 10 here. What is A plus plus means?
11. 10, ma'am.
Here you will be getting the value as 10,
10.
but it is incremented with 1 unit, that is 11.
11.
Then again I had done minus minus. So now what will be the value of minus minus A means?
Again 10, ma'am.
Again 10, ma'am. Means already it's incremented to 11, no, ma'am.
Now again plus plus A, it is becoming
11.
yes, minus minus A means
Again 10.
10.
Again
A
10.
minus minus means again 10 you will be
10,
getting.
ma'am.
Okay. So that's about the incrementation operations and decrementation operations. Okay. Now, have we completed bitwise left shift and right shift completely?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So I think by this your operators part is completed.
I mean, real life applications, where will we use this incrementation
Yes.
and decrementation, ma'am?
In your loops, you have to perform. For example, I want to print the numbers from 1 to 10, or from a given position to given position, I want to print some numbers, or I want to find out the even numbers or some prime numbers between these two. So I have to perform incrementation by 1 unit, no? So in the loops, you will be writing I plus plus directly instead of writing I is equal to I plus 1 statement.
Yes, ma'am, understood.
Okay. Now the next thing is shorthand notations we are having. Let us see what is this shorthand notation means. So for example, I want to write a statement A is equal to A plus 10. Instead of writing this A is equal to A plus 10 again, simply I can write A plus is equal to 10. Now I had written the statement A is equal to A plus 10. So if you are having a variable equal before and after, if you are having the name of the same variable, instead of writing that thing and same time, what you can do here is, sorry, A plus is equal to 10. You can write like this. If you are writing like this, it's nothing but a shorthand notation. For example, I want to write the statement like this. A is equal to A into 10. So how can I replace it?
A star is equals to 10.
Yes, good. A star is equal to 10. For any expression, you can write like this. Instead of, if you are having a variable A before and after, the same variable name before and after, you can replace it with this shorthand notation. Did you understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. So that is the use of your shorthand operator. Now let us go with some special operators. So comma is nothing but separator. So for example, if I want to declare some variables, so obviously I want to declare variables like A, B, C, D of type int. So how I'm going to separate means by using comma. A, comma, B, comma, C. Like this we'll be writing, no? So comma is nothing but a separator operator. Now the next operator is size of operator. Size of operator is used for finding out size of data type. Size of means what? How you will be telling the size of your data type? So here it is going to return you in the form of how many bytes that you are occupying, that your data type is occupying. For example, if I write size of int, previously I told you, know how many bytes int is occupying.
For 64-bit to 4 bits.
Yes, if it is 32-bit, it is giving you 2 bytes. No?
Bytes.
So this size of operator is going to return you the size of your data type in bytes, whether it may be 2 bytes or it may be of 4 bytes. Like this, it is going to return. Not only int, for any data type, you can find out the size by using this size of operator. Okay, the next one is typecasting. So typecasting means, for example, I want to convert from one data type into another data type. I want to convert from int to float, or I want to represent my answer instead of floating point representation. I want to represent in integer format. Then I can convert into another type. How to convert means by using this typecasting operator. Okay, so typecasting operator helps you to convert one type of data into another type. Okay, so that's the use of your typecasting mechanism. Already we seen the comma operator, size of operator. Like this, you can get. Next one is operator precedence and associativity. Now precedence means, I think in your childhood you had learned Bodmer's rule, no?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the use of this Bodmer's rule?
Priority, ma'am.
Yes.
Sequence of
Priority you are giving, no? In the same way here also in C, if we are having an expression is containing so many number of operators, now which operator has to be executed first? So now we'll be trying to understand our precedence. Okay, so the operator which is having the highest precedence will be executed first. Okay, so in the same way, parenthesis, nothing but brackets, is having the highest precedence, then arrays, then member selection operator, then member access operator, then comes under here increment operators and decrement operators, then multiplication, then addition and subtraction, then bitwise operators, then relational, and finally the comma operator is having the least precedence among all the operators. Okay, so just I'll be giving an expressions and we'll try to do it. I was given with expression a plus b into c plus d. Sorry. 4 into 3 plus now tell me which is having highest priority in this expression. Brackets is having the highest priority. First we'll be executing. So is 4 equal to 5?
False.
False. If it is false, what value is going to be returned?
0.
0. So 4 into 3 plus 0. Okay, now right. So among multiplication and addition, which is having the highest priority?
Multiplication.
So first 12 will be executed. What is 12 plus 0?
12.
12 you will be getting. Okay, now let us take another example. I had taken 4 into 3 by 2. Now what will be the answer you will be getting? So which is having highest precedence now?
Multiplication.
So here multiplication, all these three will be having the equal priority only. Okay, so multiplication here, addition, subtraction is having the same priority. Even multiplication, division, modulus are all having equal priority. When you are getting an operators of same priority, we have to execute from left to right. What is the operator which comes from left? The expression, yes, multiplication is the one which came left, no? So first it is going to be executed. Now what is 4 into 3? 12 by 2. What is 12 by 2? What is division operator is going to give? Quotient. So 6 you will be getting. Okay, Nandi. Now let us see another example. I was given with 4 by 3 into 2. Now which is going to be executed first?
4 by 3.
Division.
4 by 3 executed. What will be the reminder you will be getting? Sorry, what is the quotient value you are getting here?
1, ma'am.
1 into 2 is
2.
2.
fine. Okay. Did you understood, ma?
Yes, ma'am.
Operator priority and precedence, and simply you please remember this priority. Okay, generally you won't get any program to write about operator precedence and priority, but you just remember how and an expression is given, how your program is going to be executed. That thing you have to remember here. Okay. Now let us go with our structure of your C program. Some mathematical functions you are having. So there are having some mathematical functions where you can use directly here. So excuse me. So sin x, cos x, tan x, and you can use square root function, power function. These are all the various mathematical functions you are having. In order to use mathematical functions in your C language, you have to use math.h. You have to use math.h. You have to use the header file math.h in order to use this mathematical functions. Okay. Hash include math.h in the beginning of the program. After writing your stdio.h, in that position only you have to write this math.h. See, here we had written the program. So sine of 90 I want to find. Simply I'll be using the function sine, cos, square root, floor. Do you know the floor and seal?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Floor means what? What is floor of 9.56?
9, ma'am. Nine.
Yes, 9. Floor means rounding up to the one uh, you're rounding up to the nearest integer that is less than its value, and seal means
10, ma'am.
what? 10 you will be getting. 9.56 seal is you'll be getting 10. Okay, ABS means absolute value. What is meant by absolute value?
Minus and positive.
Yes, positive it is going to give, and you'll be getting the value as 9. So power of 2 comma 3, you'll be getting 2 power 3 value. Modulus of 9 comma 3 is here you'll be getting through F mod function. Okay, so these are the various built-in functions that were available. You're having n number of built-in functions. So depending upon the scenario, we have to use your function. Okay. Now we'll go with structure of your C program first. See, now ask me other questions. So first, this is your header file section. So whatever the header files that you are required in the program, first we have to write over here. Then your program execution always starts from the main function. See here, main is also a function. How your function should be written means return data type
But while executing in Turbo C++, syntax is a little bit different now.
No, you can use int main also.
Not about int main, ma'am, like clear screen, get ch.
Get ch, clear screen. You why you are writing all this means instead if you won't write get ch or clrsc or also your program will be executed. No need of conio.h also. Okay, simply I can write hash include stdio.h int main print hello and return 0 I can write. And if you are writing instead of int main, if I am writing void main, no need of writing return 0 also. Okay.
Yeah.
But you please don't confine to Turbo C, just you go with online compilers only. Whenever you are using the online compilers, you should not use this void. Void is eliminated here. Just you have to use int. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Main, the return data type is here int. Return data type, and then you have to write the function name, and then in parentheses we have to write the arguments. Okay, so main is also receiving two different types of arguments, but we won't mention generally. One is argc, the second one is argv. Generally we'll be calling argc as argument count, and argv means argument vector. These are the two arguments that were received by the main function. Okay, so for any function, remember you will be having a written data type, then you will be having function name. In parentheses, you will be passing the arguments here. Okay, now written data type. If you see this particular function int main, what is the written data type here? Int is your return data type. What your function has to return, what type of format it has to return means integer format. Then you are having the function name, that is your main, and then you are having parenthesis. What is this parenthesis? Is parenthesis here where you are going to pass your arguments. Did you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now
Then why is parenthesis left alone, ma'am? Means nothing
so
is
in
mentioned.
here in the main function we are not passing any arguments. You may pass the arguments or you may not pass the arguments. Okay, so for the main function, we are not passing any arguments here. If you are passing the arguments, always you have to pass in the form of argc and argv format. Generally won't pass here any arguments to the main function.
But
Pass
it's
చేయొచ్చు.
okay to pass any argument.
Yes, main is already I told you, no, main is going to receive arguments of type argc and argv. Generally, if you work with the command line arguments, when you want to give your input through command prompt, in that situation you can pass your arguments to the main function also.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right. See, here I had written a program, and this program is going to throw a warning. Why this program is going to throw a warning means, here I had not written any statement before your main function. Always main, before the main, what I have to write? Return data type. If I won't write any return data type, obviously your compiler is going to consider it as integer. What type of argument it is taking? Int it is going to take. Okay. So by default, the return data type for your main function is int. So whenever you are writing other than void any data type, always you have to return something to the called function. So the return value should, so that's why I'll be writing here return 0. Why you are writing this return 0 means, who is calling your main function? Operating system is going to call your function, and you are telling your operating system that you, whatever the program that you had written has been successfully executed by sending return 0 statement to the operating system. Are you getting my point or not? That's why always you will be writing return 0 here. Okay, if you write void main, no need of writing. Void won't return anything, no, so I won't write any return 0 here.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now do you all know regarding the printf? No,
Yes, ma'am.
printf is used for reading or displaying?
Display, ma'am.
Window.
Yes, to display anything on your output screen, always we have to use printf function. To read anything from user, what is the function that we have to use?
Scanf.
Scanf.
Scanf function we have to use. Okay, so till here did everyone understood or not?
Understood, ma'am.
Everyone able to follow me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Now let us see the next thing, that is your 1 minute. Ma. Okay, fine. Just I'll show you some IDs, how you are going to execute your programs, and we'll be doing some programs and operators now. So this is GDB compiler. Here I'll be selecting the language C. Okay. See, here I had written the include stdio.h int main. Just I'm writing the first program, that is hello world. And this main function is going to, so as you had written here, return data type as int, you have to write return 0. Now we'll be running your program. So you got the output as hello world. So in this online compilers, present compilers, whatever or IDEs, whatever you are using, you should not write void main and return 0 statements. If you do, we'll see what happens. Oh, it's accepting, but some IDs won't accept. But follow the practice of writing int main and return 0. Here this ID is accepting, but some IDs won't accept this int main also. Meeku campus drives lo jarige exams ani like HackerRank or HackerRank domain, you'll be having your exams where in those IDs int statement, the return data type for the main should always be given as integer, not void. Remember it. Okay. Now let us do some questions on these operators only. Shall I continue with operators, or can I go with if-else statements like selection statements in your C language?
And program చేద్దాం operators తో.
Operators the program చేద్దామా? Fine. Okay. Okay, so shall we go with the program swapping of two numbers?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to perform swap operation. Now, what is swapping means?
Interchanging two constants.
Yes, interchanging two variables generally we'll be calling as swapping. For example, I had taken A is equal to 10 and B is equal to 20 I had taken, and now I want to exchange the values of A and B. So A you have to get the value as 20 and B you have to get the value as 10. Now how to do this? See, whenever you are writing, declaring a value, so obviously what is happening is here you will be getting the value as A and this is here B. In the A you are having value as 10 and in this location you will be having the value as 20. Now what we have to do to get the value of A and B to be interchanged?
By using temp, ma'am.
Okay, by using temporary variable you can do it. Now please tell me how to do it.
Temp equal to A equal to B equal
So,
to temp.
I'm taking another variable, that is temp. Okay, so that means here temp is going to be created. Now, so first what I am doing is in the temp I am storing the value of A. So this is your assignment operator. Already I told you what is assignment means. The right hand side value will be sent to T. Now A is having the value 10, 10 is assigned to T. Now T is consisting of 10. Okay, then A is equal to B. So what we have to do here, what you are doing, B value is being assigned to A. Now A consisting of 20. Now how to get 10 value into B?
T is equals to 10.
B is equal to T. So now T is consisting of 10. No? The 10 we have placed in B. Now if I try to print A and B, what is the values you will be getting here?
A equal to 20, B equal to 10.
A
20,
equal
10.
to 20 and B is equal to 10 you are getting. Okay, so this is by using third variable. Okay, now I want to perform the swapping operation without using third variable. Then how to do it? Swapping of two numbers without third variable.
A equal to B, ma'am.
A equal to
Only single equal to.
A equal to what?
Equal to B.
A equals to A plus B, ma'am.
Okay, fine. A equal to A plus B. Now let us take A is equal to some 5, and this is here A, and B is equal to some 4. This is your B. Now A is equal to A plus B means what is happening? You are adding A and B and you are assigning the value to A. So now A is 5 and B is equal to 4. A plus B will become 9 and you are assigning 9 to A. Instead of 5, you are having 9. Okay.
B
Now what I
equals to
have to do
minus-
again? To get
B equals to A minus B.
B is equal to A minus B. Now, what is the value that is present in A? 9 minus B, 4. So 9 minus 4, which is equivalent to 5. So you are keeping 5 here. Now, what is the next statement I have to write?
A equals to A minus B.
A equal to A minus B. So A is consisting of 9, 9 minus 5, which is equivalent to 4. So if you are trying to print A and B values, you will be getting the values like 4 and 5. So have we interchanged the values of A and B? So without using the third variable also, you can perform interchanging operation. Now, let us see. By using bitwise operators, I want to perform swapping of two numbers. This is the third type I am doing. What is bitwise operators? How they consider? Bitwise operators, how they will be performing? Hello, are you there or not? Are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So you can do the swapping operation using bitwise operators also. Let us take 5, x is equal to some 5, and y is equal to some 4. Okay. So x is equal to, so generally in order to perform the swapping operation with the bitwise operators, we have to use exclusive OR operation. So this is the symbol of your exclusive OR. So what is the exclusive operator means what? What is the output you will be getting with the exclusive OR operator? Are you hearing or not? Yesterday I
Yes,
told you
ma'am.
regarding exclusive OR, no? So how you'll be performing? So the representation of
Both.
5 in binary is 101 and 4 is 100. So what is 1 XOR 0? Here both the inputs are different, then output will be
One.
here both inputs are same,
Zero.
output will be 0.
Zero.
Outputs
Zero,
are
ma'am.
same, 0.
Zero.
So this is the way that you are performing exclusive OR operation. Okay. Now x is equal to x exclusive OR y. Now what is the answer you will be getting here? 001 we got in x. Now I am doing y is equal to x exclusive or y. Now, what is the value of x you got?
Zero,
Ma'am,
zero,
001 అంటే ఏ digit వస్తుంది?
1 and meaning. Okay, exclusive or y. What is y here? 4. 4 means
1, 0, 0.
1
0
0
0.
0
Okay, what is 1 XOR 0? 1. 0
1
XOR 0 0.
0
0 XOR 1
1
1. Okay, then I had written x is equal to x exclusive or y. Okay, చూడండి clear గా చూడండి. So x, what is the value of x you got? 0 0 1, and you are performing exclusive OR with 1 0 1. So what is 1 XOR 1? 0.
0,
0 XOR 0 0. 0 XOR 1 1.
1.
Okay, so what is 1 double 0 means? 4.
4.
So y you got x you got the value as 4. What is 1 0 0 1 means? Y,
5.
which is equivalent to 5. So you can do your swapping operation with this exclusive OR gates also. Using bitwise operators also, you can perform your swapping operations. Did you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, right.
Yes.
Now, I want to find out whether given number is even or odd using bitwise operators. Now, how to do it? I was given with the number 4, and you know this number 4 is an even number, but you have to write a program in such a way that system tells you it's even or odd. One is using modulus operator we can do. Instead of modulus operator, I want to use only bitwise operator. Now, which bitwise operator I have to use in such a way that I can say it's an even number or it's an odd number. So what is the binary representation of 4?
Ma'am, first we'll use module function and we'll keep condition, ma'am.
Yes, I already told you, know, with modulo operator you can find, but instead of modulo operator, I'm asking you to find whether given number is even or odd with this bitwise. So generally bitwise
Okay, ma'am.
operators will execute your program in a faster way. And another thing is, so you can write a complex program also easy with this bitwise operators. Okay, in some situations we have to use bitwise operators to reduce our logic. So for that purpose I'm saying bitwise operators now. Now
Can we
4.
use AND operator?
Yes, with what I have to perform AND operation so that I can say it's an even. And whatever the operator that you are using or whatever the condition that you are using, it should be accepted.
If an else statement we have to use.
mm, so what is the statement I have to run? I have to write so that I can say it's a even number.
If num and 1.
Are you able to hear me? Hello.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
madam.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now, so what I have to do, which operator I have to use, which bitwise operator I have to use, so that I can say it's an even number or it is an odd number.
AND operator.
Yes, AND operator. So after performing ANDing operation, what is the output you have to get? Is my screen visible for you?
No, ma'am.
No,
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, right. Okay. Now tell.
Put visible on, madam.
Yes, sir. So 5, you are saying that, sorry, 4, so 4 is your even number. Huh? So you have to use AND operation. With what I have to perform ANDing operation, and
One.
what is the output? Yes, and what is the output you have to get? So that you can say
Even.
it's an even number. 4 means 0, 1, 0, 0. And 1 means
0, 0,
0, 0, 0, 1. So what is 0 and 1? 0, 0 and 0, 0, 1 and 0, 0, 0 and 0, 0. So what is the output you have to get here? To say it is an even number, 0.
zeros.
If any number, if you are performing bitwise AND operation, and if you with 1, and if you are getting the output value as 0, it's an even number. To say it is an odd number, what will be the output you have to get here?
1.
1, good. So 4 and 1, sorry, 5 and 1 equal to 1 if you are getting. So then you have to, then it's an odd number. Any number, if you perform bitwise operation with 1, you'll be getting the value as 0. It's an even number, else it's an odd number. So did you understood this thing?
Yes, ma'am.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am. Understood.
I think a girl is asking doubt. Anyone is having doubt on this? But simply when you are writing the program, no need of converting all this. Simply see here. We'll just execute it. Int n I had taken as equal to 5. I'm taking result. N and 5. So n and 1 equal to 1 question mark. Printf even. If condition fails, I have to print odd. So 5 is an odd number, no? Now if I take ఇక్కడ ఏం రాయాలి మనం ఈవెన్ నంబర్ కాదా కనుక్కోవడానికి n and 1 should be equal to 1 అయితే ట్రూ అయితే ఈవెన్ ఎల్స్
0 అయితే ఈవెన్ రావాలి కదా.
n and 1 4 and 1 yes equal to 0 అయితే ఈవెన్ ప్రింట్ అవ్వాలి లేకపోతే odd. N is 4, no? 4 means 0, 1, 0, 0. 0, 0, 0, 1.
All zeros only, man.
Why it is not executing? Okay, fine. Let us take 4 is equal to 0, 1, 0, 0. And I'm doing it with 0. Creating 0, 0, 0, 0. 5 right there. Everything it is giving order only. Why?
Madam,
That-
n modulus 2 double
n modulus 2. Okay, okay. That we know. n modulus 2 కి వచ్చేస్తుంది. కానీ దీనికి ఎందుకు రావట్లేదు అని చూస్తున్నాం. Still do with n modulus 2 once. కరెక్ట్ గానే వస్తుంది కదా.
మ్యామ్ బిట్ వైస్ ఇంకేం ఇంక్లూడ్ చేయాలా?
ఓకే. మనం అనుకున్నది కరెక్ట్ అమ్మా, కానీ ఎందుకు రావట్లేదు? n and 1 చేస్తాం అంతే. n and 1 చేస్తే కనుక 0 వస్తే ఇది ఈవెన్, లేదు అంటే ఆడ్. Or else you can do with or also. n and 1 is correct. Equal to 0. Fine. For everything it is giving odd only. Okay, I'll check it and I'll tell you. Why is it the problem with compiler?
And once
or
interchange the odd and even terms also.
the logic whatever we had written is correct only. Why it's not working, I have to find. When n and 1 not equal to 0, it's even. If it is equal to 0, again I'll run this. Then also it is getting even. Okay. In the next class, once again, I'll solve this particular issue, or else we'll see with another compiler. Just wait for a while. I'll go with another compiler. Refer IT space. So yes, you got the answer as 1, correct? Okay. దీని బాధ ఇది ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ కి మనం ఇలా పెట్టలేదు కదా. Maybe this would be the problem there also. వచ్చిందిగా చూసారా?
Yes, ma'am.
అక్కడ నేను బ్రేస్ మిస్ చేశాను. బ్రేస్ మిస్ చేసేటప్పటికి ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఇవాల్యుయేషన్ మారిపోతుంది. అందుకు మీకు అక్కడ తప్పు వచ్చింది. Now, so by using the bitwise operators also we can perform this finding of even and odd. If you are performing ending operation with 1 and if you are getting the value as 1, it's a even number, else it is an odd number. Okay, so in the next class
Madam.
we'll be seeing some. Sir. Hello.
మేడం అక్కడ బ్రేసెస్ యాడ్ చేయాలని ఎలా?
ఇక్కడ
అంటే
మీకు
error ఏమో
వార్నింగ్ అక్కడ వార్నింగ్ ఇచ్చింది కదా, ఎగ్జిక్యూషన్ ఒకసారి చూసుకోమని. అంటే ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది కానీ వార్నింగ్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ గివెన్ హియర్. when you're executing you'll be getting warnings, no? ఎక్స్ప్రెషన్ ఎలా చేయాలి అని అడుగుతోంది. సరే ఒకసారి బ్రేస్ తీసి ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ చేస్తాను, మీకు మళ్ళీ వార్నింగ్ వస్తుంది చూడండి. See, you got the answer, but here it has given some precedence of operator sarigga ledani ichindi.
ఓకే.
Okay, that's why I kept braces here. In that problem kuda ade. Okay nandi, and braces ikkada kaadu pettalsindi, nenu tappu pettana. Here. No, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. So we'll go. So in the next class, we'll be seeing the next topics. Okay. So till here, did you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Are you able to follow with me? Hello.
Yes, ma'am. We are able to follow.
Okay. Everyone.
Yes.
Okay, right. So, okay, thank you for today. This is the session. So tomorrow we'll be going with selection statements, control statements in C language. Okay, right. Sir, I'm leaving, sir.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Okay, sir. Thank
Okay,
you.
ma'am.
సరే మేడం, థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం.
Okay, sir.